Okay, welcome to our Thursday night Teves Shiur. I have not given a disclaimer recently about being woefully unprepared, but this year was really not supposed to be tonight. But the Osiris of the Olam HaTorah and the Osiris of Shovim in the air was inspired. Bez Hashem inspired this year. Just speaking about Shovim, Shovim is a lost zman at least in the United States. In Eretz Yisrael, you can't really avoid Shovim because the streets are plastic with Shovim posters all over the place, and reminding you that this is a very special time of the year for all sorts of tikkunim in Inyanim Kedusha. If it is man that's meant for tikkunim, that means it's misugal for tikkunim in Inyanim of Kedusha. And just interestingly enough, I got a call Mighty Shabbos from a Talmud, and he calls me Mighty Shabbos, and he says he wants to talk about something private. He needs chizik and be misak in certain areas of Kedusha. And I said, wow, do you know what tonight starts Shovim? He says, no, what's Shovim? I said, well, you might not know Shovim has started, but you obviously felt there's iris of Shovim, because if you call Mighty Shabbos Parshas Vayechi, right, and you want chizik in Yanim Shal Kedusha, does hey that you felt this iris of tshuva for a tikkun in these Zachen. That's this time of the year is really a time of Kavaldik Tikkunim and all sorts of avodas that people do. Ayin Bisvarim Shalom Kuboim to find out what suits you. The the shiur that I'm going to be talking about is actually you could really call it last week's parsha because I sort of prepared it for last week and it didn't really work out because I had a chasna. And so maybe we'll do this, and we'll do a Shemai shiur next week. I'll just start with a story. When we start with a story, everyone stays awake, at least for the story generally, and then we can try to move over to the Torah. There is a story. I don't know the name of which Rebbe it was, but it's a story that could have happened to any Rebbe. It could have been a Litvish Rosh Yeshiva also, or maybe the Chafetz Chaim. Someone comes into the base medrash of a unnamed Rebbe, and he tells him, Rebbe, I heard on the street rumors. We heard that Mashiach is here. And he's all excited. Mashiach is here. So the Rebbe gets up. He walks up and opens the window. He leans his head out, gives a little sniff. He says, "No, Mashiach's not here." He said. So everyone says, "Oh, Rebbe says Mashiach's not here. Mashiach's not here." So he sits back down by the table. He says, "Rebbe, you know the Rebbe has Ruach HaKodesh, but so why do you have to get up and go to the window to let us know Mashiach is not here? Why couldn't you tell us, from where you were that Mashiach is not here?" So he says, in my base medrash, Mashiach is alamolda. Okay, when you're sitting in the base medrash with Dovid HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so that's Mashiach. What's Mashiach? Mashiach is that Klal Yisrael universally has a dveikus HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no more the stira of the Rad and the Welt loses its shine, and Mashiach is a gilui of Kvod Shemayim, of Kedusha Hashem. So what the Rebbe was saying is, when you're in the base medrash, you're learning, you're davening, and you're davening in Torah and Hashem. So Mela, that's Mashiach. How am I supposed to tell you Mashiach's not here when here Mashiach is here? I opened up the window outside. There you don't have all those iris of Mashiach. And Mela, over there I saw that the Mashiach's ar was not outside the base medrash. I know Mashiach isn't here. But the side of the story, whether it's a true story or not true story, is that Mashiach is be'emes. Klal Yisrael wants Mashiach. The tzaddikim, they cry and they beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Mashiach, not because they want Mashiach, right? Because tzaddikim have Mashiach. They open up a Gemara and they're in the Olam HaTorah and they daven and they say the Tehillim. Then the Olam HaTorah, so on a personal level, tzaddikim live with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Mashiach, but klapi tzaddikim is here already. However, tzaddikim are plotting for Mashiach. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have Mashiach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a Gans Klal Yisrael. There's a Gans Welt that's a Gewaltig Chil Shem Shemayim. So tzaddikim are literally begging HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they have such avos Hashem. How could you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how could you have such a massive Chil Shem Shemayim when HaKadosh Baruch Hu everything and the whole world is denying HaKadosh Baruch Hu's existence? This is the side of the bikush from Mitzapim Yeshua. Ki Yeshua Ascha, Kivinu Kal Yam Shtei Yeshua Ascha is the Yeshua of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Yeshua, because the tzaddik, he has his Yeshua. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even in Golos, gives tzaddikim the ability to feel the neimus of dveikus HaKadosh Baruch Hu. For this reason, the tzaddikim, many tzaddikim were famous for the Gvaldik Tzipil Yeshua, that the Mamish, they were sitting, and the Mamish, every time they heard a car horn beep, Mashiach's here, it's just a beeping of a horn, etc. Why are they so on guard for Mashiach? Their bags are packed because they're living. They know they're living with Aris and Mashiach. And they just know it's just to go from the Ar Mashiach here to just spread a little bit more. It's just a small nafkamina. Mashiach, a person that doesn't live with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, he doesn't live with these Aris. It's so far away. It's like you have to wade through tons and tons of chatzitzas of Eilam Hazav Gashmis to get to that because the male it's out of mind, it's out of sight. The male they don't have that tzipiyah. Mashiach tzaddikim who literally live with this dveikus and this kedusha. Mashiach is mamish here, and to understand that it just takes a drop more to get it for this to spread to the ganze Welt. They know it's mamish a moment away. So, speaking about Mashiach and tzipiyah Yeshua, that brings us to last week's parasha. The pasuk tells us. By the when Yaakov wanted to give brachas to his children, so Yaakov tells his children, Yaakov tells his children, gather around, they're going to tell you what is going to occur to you, b'achas hayomim. Hikafsu, v'shimu b'nei Yaakov, come together and listen up. B'nei Yaakov, v'shimu el Yisrael avichem, and listen up to Yisrael, to myself, avichem, your father. Okay, then starts the brachas, Ruvim B'chariata, Kaichavesh, Shayni, etc. But in the Hakdama, he also agid lachem Eser Sheyuk Aschem Achsiyam he comes to Shimon ben Yaakov, Shimon Yisrael Avichem. This seems to be another topic, and Rashi tells us that Bikesh Yaakov Liglois Esakates. Yaakov wanted to be Megal the Kates, and the Kates would apparently be the case of Mashiach. He wanted to be Megal the Kates, and what happened? When the Shechina disappeared. And so mainly he changed subject, he started saying other things. As Isaac Rashi, what is this inyan that Yaakov wanted to be Megala Esaketz? If you want to be Megala where Mashiach is coming, so back then, you're holding the year 2200 from Bria Sa'ilim around there, and Mashiach wasn't there yet. So you can imagine if Yaakov Avinu calls together, the Shvatim says, I want to tell you when Mashiach's coming, you can imagine they'd be very excited, right? Mashiach is right around the corner, right? So you can understand the drama of it at that point. But in hindsight, right, 3,500 and change years later, knowing that Mashiach is unfortunately not here, l'chayra, right? So now, let's putting this story into perspective. Yaakov is going to tell his children, listen, I want to tell you great news. I'm going to be Megali you the Kates of Mashiach. When is it? It's going to be in about 3,500 years. Right? I think everyone's heart would have just dropped right through the stomach at that. But you can tell Mashiach, the Tikkun Olam is coming. There's going to be Gvaldik Gevayit Shemaim, and all our Vayit is going to finally reach its zenith. And all of a sudden, no. So what is it? 5 years, 10 years, 100 years, 200,000, 3,500 years and counting. Right? You would have thought that the Yaakov is coming before he dies, before he leaves this world. He wants to be mechazik his kids, and he's going to be telling them the most depressing news. You know, it's going to be 3,500 years. It's going to be millions and millions of Yidden doing all sorts of avodah. They're going in circles. Who knows what they're doing or making tikkunim. Well, how are we going to describe it in the most positive light? But at the end of the day, be Megal the Kates, right? If you would have said, right, Mashiach is coming. What's today? What thing Teves is holding? What? Chaf Alf Teves Tafshin Pei, right? That would have been 35. If you tell me today's coming Chaf Alf, what? Friday's Chaf. Chaf Teves Tafshin Pei. That would be great news for us, right? But if you tell them it's coming Tafshin Pei, Le'elef Hawat, Le'elef Hashishi, you know, say. It's like what's going on over here? Is this really he wants to leave this world with his kids, knowing that they're going to do their avodah, they're going to be Mesiras Nefesh, and who knows and whatnot, right? And it's going to be. It seems like forever. 3,500 years seems like forever. Zweitens Zachar Shver that Yaakov Avinu, he knows the date, right? Let's say he knows the date. Okay, like we said, Chaf Teves Tafshin Pei. So he sits down. Rabbi Sai, I want to tell you when Mashiach's coming. I have a date for you. Okay? Everyone sits down. All of a sudden, Shekhinah disappears. And Yaakov says, forgot the date. Right? What does knowing a date have to do with Shekhinah? You know the date, right? If you're telling me that he's going to sit down and he's going to he's going to he's going to make some sort of aliyas neshama, right? But if he's just going to be Megala Kates Mistami before he sits down, he knows the case, right? You would think he knows the date, right? The Shekhinah disappears and he doesn't know the date. It's just a date. How do you forget the date because the Shekhinah is here? I can understand maybe you got the date because the Shekhinah is here, but once you know it, it's just a very simple fact, right? The Shekhinah is here. I know the date. Say the date. Nachshver is still Shekhinah in the beginning of this week's parsha was not a problem for anyone. They knew how to get the Shekhinah back. At the beginning of the parsha, when Yosef brought his two children to Yaakov for a bracha, so Yaakov told Yosef, right? He says to him, who are these children? Right? Who are these children? He saw them, and all of a sudden, when he looked at them, right, he saw the Rishayim that was going to come out of them in future Teiros. It was Nistalke and Shekhinah, right? So now finished. He can't accomplish what he wants to accomplish. He needs to give a bracha. To give a bracha, you need Shekhinah. So comes along Yosef. So Rashi, right before he gives the bracha, right? So Rashi that Yosef was mispalel. Yosef Rachman pasuk test al Dovid v'nachalav ruach hakodesh. Yosef David, and the Shekhinah comes back. So if there is a Silach Shekhinah over here, and the Shekhinah is necessary for this Gila case, which you don't understand why, but Silach Shekhinah is not a problem. David, bring the Shekhinah back and go on with the program. Be Megala the case. Okay, that is the basic questions on this Indian of Gila case. So as you can understand from my introduction of the story, that Gila case is probably more than just a date. Gila Kate is being Megala to Klais on a Voida of Gila Kate, which is Nageh every year, every day in your base medrash, even if you're not a Hasidic Rebbe, you can have a Gila Kate in your own private Gila Kate. And this is what I want to suggest was going on over here with Yaakov Ubanov. Yaakov is coming to me Megala Kate, he's coming to me Megala a soid, a pneumius of the Welt, that the Olam is full of pure, it's full of Hester. So listen, you could cut through all the Hester, you could go right to the Dveikus, and you can Megala the Kvod Shemaim, which is ultimately a Gila Kate. This is the Tachlis. You can Megala the Tachlis in every day in your Avodah. And this is the conversation between Yaakov and Ubanov. And maybe we'll bring it out a little bit from the Gemara in Psachim on this topic. Gemara Psachim Daf Nun Vav says the following. It brings down the Psukim in Vayechi. Vayikra Yaakov Ubanov. Right? This is what Rabbi Shlok is talking. Vayikra Yaakov Ubanov. V'yom He'asu V'akid Lachem Bikesh Yaakov Liglois Levanov Kates Hayamin Ministalka Mimena Shechina. The Shechina disappeared. Amar Shem Echas Shem Yesh B'mitasi Psul Kavram Sheyatzi Meni Yishmael Vavi Yitzchak Sheyatzi Meni Esav. Maybe there's something wrong with my children over here. Why is the Shechina disappearing when I gather my kids together? Amar Loi Banav. His children said, Shema Yisrael Hashem Lakeinu Hashem Echad. So his children told him, don't worry, we're God's. Right? Shema Yisrael Hashem Lakeinu. Shema Yisrael means Yisrael, our father. Yisrael, listen. Hashem Lakeinu, Hashem Echad. There's Achdas Gomer. There's no period over here. There's no psul. You don't have to worry about that. There's a psul over here. Shem Shem Belibchel Echad. Kach En Belibenu Al Echad. We are similar to you. We are the same as you. Just like you are a total tzaddik and you're connected to Achdas V'Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kach En Belibenu Al Echad. We also are connected to Achdas Hashem. He says, Shah, Pasach Yaakov Avinu Amar, Baruch Shem Kavod Machusai, Lailam Vod. So Yaakov's response was, Baruch Shem Kven Machusai Lailam Vod. So this is the Gemara adds this part of the conversation that Rashi does not bring down. That he was Nistati Menashchina, and Rashi says, which would be the brachas. And the Gemara here brings down the chelik of the conversation. The Shvatim said Shema Yisrael, and Yaakov said Baruch Shem Kavod Machusai Lailam Vod. The Gemara brings down over here that as far as saying Baruch Shem Kavod Machusai Lailam Vod, right? We weren't sure. The Rabbanim weren't sure. Okay, how do we say Shema now? We have a new Nakud Shema. The pasuk Baruch Shem is not an entire Baruch Shem is a chiddush over here. So, but this became part of the Kabbalah Samach Shemaim of Yaakov Ubanov. So we want to commemorate on some level. We don't want to say it out loud because it's not in the Torah. We can't ignore it because Yaakov said it. Meila, we make a compromise. We say it quietly. Okay, so that's our Baruch Shem. Baruch Shem is, we say it quietly because it has to do with this conversation between Yaakov and Vanna. We say it quietly. Try to explain what is this Indian of saying quietly, and what is the pneumius of the conversation between Yaakov and Vanna. Let's just furious with the Gemara. But Gemara brings down a mashal ma'adavar daimon. It's a esoteric mashal, and we're going to try to give it a little feeling. Mashal. We have a parable of Bas Melech Shericha Tzika Gedeira. You have a Bas Melech, a princess, who obviously only is served the finest of foods, and she smells someone cooking Tzika Gedeira, some sort of low level type of dish, and she has a cheshik for it. She has a taiva for it. Im taiva yesh laganai, loy type yesh latzar. Right? If she said, if she admits she wants this, it's a genai for a bas melech to want Tzika Gedeira to be inspired by something so simple. If she asks for it, it's going to be if she doesn't ask for it, she's going to have tsar because she wants it. They brought it to her very quietly. This is something she wants, right? So Mela, we give it to her in a quiet type of way, and this is the mashal of the Indian of Baruch Shem to be said b'chashai is mashal to this Bas Melech Shericha Tzika Gedeira. So just I'll throw out a remez and maybe try to add a little havana to it, right? Yaakov is bigesh liglois saketz, right? Instead of being Megal the Kates, he was Megala. They had this conversation with Shema Yisrael Shem Elokeinu Hashem Echad with the Baruch Shem, right? And we have a mashal of Tzika Gedeira. So take note, the word Kates and the word Tzika are very similar, right? The Tzika is the root of Tzika is Tzadi Kuf, and then Kates is Kuf Tzadi, right? That the Inyan of Tzika Gedeira seems to be in the mashal aligned with the Gila Kates. Okay, this is meaning, if you take this remez and you go with it, right? It would come out as and this is what I want to suggest that because Yaakov is not being Megala at time. Yaakov Avinu is out to be Megala, a way of being Dovid HaKadosh Baruch Hu, no matter what matzah that you're in. And if you tell your children, you know what, the Shvatim Mistama knew that the Mashiach is not going to come for 3,500 years, but we're going to be Megala Kates that every day of those 3,500 years, you could live with the Gila Kates. You can have this Indian of Kates. So Mela, that is the best parting lesson Yaakov Avinu can give over to his children. What is this? What is this Indian of Gila Kates? That has to do with the Baruch of Shema and Baruch Shem. So if you look at the Pesukim, just take a step back. Right, Yaakov says he also and then he says he kafzu v'shimu b'nei Yaakov v'shimu el Yisrael avichem. You look at the words; it's a double lashon. He kafzu v'shimu b'nei Yaakov v'shimu el Yisrael avichem. What is this lashon? It's a double lashon v'shimu b'nei Yaakov v'shimu el Yisrael avichem. In light of the fact of the Gemara and Pesachim that they responded by saying Shema. It sounds very much that when he tells them v'shimu, right, he's commanding them to say Shema. Right, to me, it's a good remez. I saw the Megala Mukas actually says this is the remez. Vishimu is a lashon of say Shema. So what happened? What I want to suggest is as follows: Yaakov Avinu wants to be Megal the Kates. What is Gila Kates? Gila Kates is that in a matzav of Siluk HaShchina, you could regain the Shchina. You can be Megal the Shchina in a matzav of Istalkus. And when Yaakov is Nistalke men Shchina, this was a chatchila for what he wanted to accomplish over here. Yaakov Avinu wants to be Megal the Kates. Yaakov Avinu can't be Megal the Kates. We're Mahaltzach by Mashiach. If the Rebbe the Beis Medrash with his Chasidim Mahaltzach shine by Kates, you can't be Megal the Kates. This is the Kates. Yaakov Avinu and the Shvatim sit down, and there's a Siluk HaShchina. So Yaakov, now's the perfect time to be Megal the Kates. How Megal the Kates? He says Shema b'nei Yaakov, Shema Yisrael Avichem. Say Shema. Okay, you say Shema. Shema is that you what is the kavana amuk of Shema? Shema Yisrael Shema Elokeinu Hashem Echad is the average person thinks Shema Yisrael Shema Elokeinu Hashem Echad is a statistic, right? There's 3 avos. We'll go back with 3. 3 avos, 2 luchais, 1 Hashem. Right? It's a statistic, right? But the Pshat Hashem Echad is obviously much deeper than just a statistic. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad means Hashem is everything. Echad means Achdus Pshuta. It means Hashem is everything. It's a yisod of Einoin Mavadi. Einoin Mavadi means that I have the ability of looking at the world and transcending the gashmius of this world. Right? We're all familiar with the famous segula from Chaim Volozhiner. I don't think he was mechanish it, right? But he breaks it down in Nefesh HaChaim that when a person focuses on the true meaning of Achdus Hashem, which is Einoi Mavade, the ganze Welt is not a levush for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or the ganze Welt is not even a levush, because the levush is really bottled to the aura of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's really just a figment of our imagination. The only real mitzias is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Einoi Mavade. Thus, you're just blasting yourself out of anything that can have any shaykhs to b'derech ra in this world, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kula chesed, and you can connect to that b'derech which brings you l'malam mikol din. That's what Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad means. So Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad really sort of unzips all the levushim of Olam Hazeh, and not only does it unzip it, it's mevatel totally. So Chaim Volozhiner, Oibazai, years in a matziv of Einoi Mavadei, you have a big problem, right? Because it's Einoi Mavadei, you know what? You don't have a left arm to put your tefillin on. You don't have a head to put your tefillin on. You don't have eyes to see Torah. You don't have a mouth. You can't do anything because the world is gone. You don't have parents to respect. You don't have a rebbe to stand up for. You don't have nothing. It's all gone. It's just a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So you just sit there in a massive of dveikus and awe, right? Where is the makom of avodas Hashem when you reach this pinnacle of Einoi Mavadei? So Chaim Volozhiner, you could look at it. I'm saying the way I remember it. But you could look at it probably a lot deeper than I'm saying. But in that matzah, no makom for avodah. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad just wipes out the whole world, right? It's just a flash, gone, right? You know when you have too much flash in your camera, it's gone, right? Too much R, no world, okay? There's no makom for avodah. So where's the makom for avodah? We have to zushtel Baruch Shem Kvei Malchusa Lo'olam Ved to this inyan of Shema. The title of Baruch Shem Kvei Malchusa Lo'olam Ved is al PM. It's everything is Achdus Hashem. But Zos Vista, the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants avodah. He wants a makom of bechira. So he makes the world that exists solely as a makom where you could have Hester and uncover the Hester. And that's in Baruch Shem Kvei Malchusa Lo'olam Ved. Baruch Shem Kvei Malchusa Lo'olam Ved means there's Malchus Hashem in this world. That's behester. Baruch Shem Kvei Malchusa is Olam Hazeh. Right, and in this world, we can make a connection between the Achdus of Hashem, which are called Shemayim, to the Baruch Shem Kavai Machusay Lo'olam Ved Machus Hashem, which is Olam Hazeh. And when we make that connection, perfect. We have a world with people. We have a world with Bria, and we can be over Hashem with that connection. And everything we're doing is being Megal Kvod Shemayim in this world. What's Taka the Pshat that? What's Taka the Pshat that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to make a world like this? Right? What does he need it for? Right? What's the answer? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to be Meitiv, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to do the Tachlis HaTayv. It means he wants to give an opportunity to people that are so disconnected, so far from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Afal Pike, to have that connection to him. The smaller we are, the lower we are, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mizakas and Avodas Hashem, despite the fact we're less chashiv than an ant, and Afal Pike, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you an opportunity to be Dovik in me. That's the Gresta Taiva. So this is what the Sfarim HaKadoshim say. Nisav HaKadosh Baruch Hu liyais leidir b'tachtayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have to look up what the Meir for it is. It's a medrash, or it's a Gemara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was nisav liyais leidir b'tachtayim. Okay? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted an Olam Hazeh, which is really void of Kedusha, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyachal, had a taiva to have a dir b'tachtayim. He wanted to have a world where he could be mative, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted mative on the highest level. So Meir, Hatov, the highest level is when the Hatov goes to Tachnish b'tachtayim. If I'm the president of the United States and I do a taiva for the vice president, what type of taiva is that? But if I'm the president of the United States and I go to Williamsburg, right? To some cheder that's struggling, and I bring that out of the dump. That is a greater hatava. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu was nisava lo liyas dir b'tachtayim. What does it mean nisava liyas lo dir b'tachtayim? Taiv is a taich. It's a rotzen without any havana, right? Normally when you want something, you have a reason you want something. I want money. I want to buy the car, right? I want shoes because I want to impress people around me. But when when you have something is described as a taiv, it has no havana. Why do you want it? Kacha. I want it. That's the taiv. When Chazal say Kaviyach HaKadosh Baruch Hu nis'av lo liyas dir b'tachtayim, it means there's no havana to it. We can't understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's all of it to accomplish this tremendous hatava. Whenever you describe something that is l'mashal a taiva, right? Something a rotten that's so pnimi that doesn't have a pasha pshat. This always has to be something that's very tzenua. That's the way it is in the Olam Hazeh. Anything that involves a taiva, muzayim b'tznu, because it's an expression of someone's depth of function that has to be b'darach tznius. Mela, when we talk about Baruch Shem Kavod Machusay Loilam Vod, this Indian that HaKadosh Baruch Hu with this Avala Liyas Dir B'Tachtayim, this is the pshat that we have to do b'chashay, because to say b'pem mole, they announce that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for some reason, Kaviyachal lowers himself to have a rotzen to connect with Boston Adam that a mamish nothing. This has to be done very quietly. That's not tzenua. In as much it's Kaviyachal and mashal. Obviously, it's mashal. It's being megala the type of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. That's the mashal of the Bas Melech that wanted the tzike kedeir. She was nis'ava liyos tzike kedeir because in the Baruch Shem and this gila case of Shema with the Baruch Shem of taking Achtas Hashem down to Olam Hazeh. This is the inyan of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Savli Adiyas B'Dir B'Tachtayim, and it has to be done in an appropriate manner. So the kitzur, that's what I want to tighten is the taich. I'm sure other people have said it also, but when you put the Gemara together with the Rashi and you put it into the context of Gila case is something deeper than just pinpointing a date in time. It's pinpointing an avodah. It's pinpointing to Klal Yisrael that you could be going into goals. Klal Yisrael is going to goals Mitzrayim, and they're going to need to have the message, the koyach to cut through all the nisyonos and always see HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mitach the Hester. Yaakov Avinu said, "Say Shema," and we're going to teach you how to be Megalak Kvod Shemayim in Olam Hazeh, even Mitach the greatest Hester. With this we could understand just another nekuda. It's well known from Chazal. Medrash tells us that another reason why we say Baruch Shem quietly is because in Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went up to Shemayim, he heard the Malachim saying this beautiful Shvach HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Shem Kvod Machus L'Olam V'Ad. Okay, and we say it quietly. Malachim shouldn't be jealous, or because he stole from Malachim, we say it quietly. This is Indian. Moshe Rabbeinu heard the Malachim say Baruch Shem. The Malachim say Baruch Shem. Kefi we are Masber, right? We say Baruch Shem. It has to be Chashai because it's being Megala, a Gavaldik aside of Dir B'Tachtayim. Malachim say Baruch Shem B'Kol Ram. Why do Malachim say Baruch Shem B'Kol Ram? Because Malachim have their own expression of Baruch Shem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Kedusha manifests itself in Malachim also. They're also Nivroim. But the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Kedusha manifests itself in Malachim who just mirror HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's not Tachtainim. And there's no taiva in that. Mela, for them to express the Baruch Shem B'Peh Moli B'Kol Ram is not a problem. Right? Because Klape them, this is not Klape HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is Tachtainim. This is just a natural mirroring of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Kedusha. Klal Yisrael that makes this chiddush that we take Olam Hazeh, which is totally Hester, a makom of chitzonius, and we could uncover it all and be megal kvod shemayim in such a tachtonik place, because this is the savla dear b'tachtayt, and this has to have the privacy of the chashoy. And this is the message Yaakov said to his bottom, that going into Golas, be megal case is shimu b'nei Yaakov shimu al Yisrael avichem. That's because of what I was thinking on this inyan. We talk about to focus on our Kabbalah Samach Shemayim and have a sense of connection to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and leave the Hester of Olam Hazeh and all the Gashmias and all the Taiva Befrat in the Yemei Shavim, where we're connecting to Hakadosh Baruch Hu is the on the order of the day, and there's all sorts of Siyat Shmai for that. We should be zeicha to reach Gevaldik Madvegas and Avodas Hashem.